Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. The power of a true player. The power of a true player. When I say true play, not somebody call themselves player or anything or trying to be one or say I want to be a player. I mean somebody who actually gets women and on a routine basis, has a roster of women, can get women, can be a serial monogamous, he's still getting women. He a player. And he's influencing the woman. Because I was thinking about that. And this ain't to talk about how to be one or something. Because even with what I tell you, I just tell you what to do to get what you want. It's a lot more to being a true player. It's a lot more. You know, I can just give you some tools in order to get like an ideal woman or get women in general for you. But there's a lot more to go into it. So, but a true player, they got a lot of power. Because think about something. Their power is one thing. They can influence women. They can influence women. Think about it. It's a lot for a woman. Even though women want to have sex out here, it's still a lot for a man to influence a particular woman to have sex with him. It's still a lot. Even if she can desire him and all that, but he's still influencing her behavior. That's a lot right there. That's a lot. And indeed, even some men's behavior, because some men probably see it and they probably want to follow him or try to figure out what he's doing. So you got that power of influence right there. But let's take it a step further. Think about it. You're not just influencing the woman to sleep with you, but you also influencing her to do stuff in your favor. You influencing her outside the bedroom. You know, you get some true players, they get money out of the women. These women are paying these guys, or paying the guy's bills, doing stuff for the guy, everything. And think about it also a situation. Let's go dark side a bit. Because I'm gonna tell you what, somebody said a long time ago, and this was when AIDS was in the news more. When AIDS was in the news, and you had situations where you had women in particular voluntarily giving men AIDS. And there's been some guys doing the same thing. And you know, and I was saying those people are weapons of mass destruction. Think about what a single player, could you drop a single player into a community? Say it's a community, you got stable families and everything. Stable families, you know, husband, wife, and everything, you know. Think about what a player could do to that community. Could probably destroy it in maybe a year. Yeah, a year. And you say, how? He can disrupt relationships. What if he's that type of player, starts sleeping with these guys' wives? And you know, the guys, you know, even if they find out it was the player, you know, that's still messing up some relationships. That can mess up families. You know, a single player could be a weapon of mass destruction. You know, if I was a president of a country and I wanted to disrupt another country, oh, I'd flood it with some players. I'd flood it with some players. I want y'all to think I'm laughing about it, but think about it, because a Ghanaian saying is, you know, a nation starts in a home. Family. That's any civilization starts with the family. If you want to destroy something, send some players in, or send somebody who could break up the wedding, marriages and stuff. Seriously, it's that powerful. But think about the aftermath of a dark side player. Like, not that type who's honest with the women and everything, but that straight up demon lover type. He could derail like women's careers, everything. He can make it so that she don't want to mate with somebody else. You know, so that's preventing future relationships. You know, really hurt some of the good guys. Like, a lot of good guys shouldn't really want to these true players to exist. I'm serious, think about the destruction of it. You know, it's not a situation like, oh, you just get laid and all of that. There's always aftermaths to it, because that woman's still thinking about it. Like, how many women are passing over good guys because they still hung up on that player? Or how many women whose careers or what they were trying to do, their very happiness was disrupted because they messed with the wrong guy. Think about it. How many guys out here raising somebody else, some other man's son, probably some true player's son or daughter? I want y'all to think about that. Think about how much power that is. Yeah, something like this I usually do on my Deep Thought channel, but I'm here now. I said, let me talk about it here. I want y'all to think about it. And let me be clear. It's not something, I'm not saying it to say, oh, you should try to get that power or anything. I'm not saying that. Let me be very clear. I'm not saying that at all. This is more like just something to think about. Like I said, just because it easily got on my Deep Thought channel, because that's what I do over there. I throw out stuff. But I was just thinking about that. I was like, how much destruction has been left in a player's wake? But I'm going to tell you what, too. If you got a player who is nicer to women and trying to empower women, think about how much power they could bring. See, a man, I'm going to tell you what, let me go deep on y'all. A man can open up a woman, not just sexually, but to who she truly is. He can take a caterpillar, metaphorically, and turn it into a butterfly. So think about that man, and you do have some men out there. A lot of them might practice tantra or something like that, but they actually sexual healers. Now think about what that guy could do with some women, open up, make her feel beautiful, how far she could go. That's a lot of power right there. Because like I said, it comes down to how you influencing people. Because I'm going to tell you, every single part, see, when we interact, just in an ordinary relationship, particularly a sexual relationship, regular relationships as well, but it's really intense in a sexual relationship, you can actually change someone's path. You can open them up. You can destroy them. Now think about that type of man who can do that with 100 women. Even if he don't have sex with them, just the interaction with them. He could empower 100 women or he could destroy them. And then they affect other people. Because think about, say, like here's a fucked up scenario, and it's fucked up. Say a woman's in a happy marriage. She's actually happy, but this player come along, he seduces. She happy, she got 2 kids, happy husband, everything. But, this player is just a little bit finer. He comes in. He seduces her. He dicks her down, got her ready to leave her husband. Got her really ready to leave the kids and everything, leave everything. And it actually happens. It does happen. Just change everything. But then he's like, nah. He fucks her head up. First of all, that fucks up the marriage, because even if, because sometimes the woman won't tell the husband, or if she does, but then the husband feels some type of way with her. I don't care how forgiving he might be, he still won't look at a certain way. She might not want him, she might want to leave. Or she could get so fucked up by getting dogged, she don't even want to deal with the children right. Think about it. So then the husband's life, her life's affected. The husband's life is affected, because no telling how he might get strong afterwards, or it might mess him up. Because he might feel like, damn, she wanted him over me. Fucks with his self-esteem. Then she's so fucked up, she ain't being a good mother to the 2 kids. And then that fucks up who they messing with. And I'm like, wow. And it's something to really think about. It's something to think about, Because I would tell any player, with great power come great responsibility. Because you're dealing with another human being. The emotional kill goes a lot further. Like hurting someone emotionally goes way further than doing it physically. It goes way further. Psychological damage. Somebody can carry that with them the rest of their life. I want y'all to think about that. And it's just something to think about. Like I said, I ain't saying try to be that. And if you really look at my material, yeah, somebody could use it to become one. But most of the guys who pay attention to my stuff, they just want one good woman. They ain't trying to be a play. And I ain't going to say, and like I said, if you got that type of power, hey, it could be used for evil, it could be used for good. And I would say, I would hope, I can advise all I want. I said, I would hope somebody would use it for good. Just be honest with the women, because some women, that's all they need. They just want that sexual healing. But, be careful about it, Be careful who you deal with. So, but in all, it's something to think about, all right? So anyway, that's all I have for today. Think on this. Peace and blessings.